Well, I'm looking nice and shiny. Look at that. Healthy, sober skin. Welcome back to episode number 29 of Getting Sober Again. I am your host, Jay. Welcome back. So what brings you back other than my charm and charisma? Hopefully you are still sober. It is still No Drink November. So if you're drinking, you better knock it off. That's not what we're doing. We're not supposed to be drinking. But you know, you might have that voice in your head that says,
"Stop it! Wait, what's wrong with you? You need to quit it. You need to stop it."
And then you feel all guilty, and then
Stop it!
and then you feel like I just need to shut that voice up. Let me just have a drink. Just make that voice go away. So how are you doing? Comment below. Let me know where you're at in your journey in this month. Hopefully you haven't fallen off the wagon. And if you have, just forgive yourself and just let it be a cheat day and forget about it and just keep moving forward. That's the thing. In one of my previous episodes, I talked about just, forgiving yourself because this is hard. It's hard, especially like now there's like I don't know if you noticed, there's a pandemic going on, and either you were making money, the government was sending you money, maybe you're not making any money anymore, maybe you had to go back to some other job that you didn't want to, you went back to your job and you're not making as much money. I know a lot of my friends they have their hours reduced, or they just flat out lost their job. They're working at a different job, maybe for less money. I don't know what their circumstances are, but I know that since there is less to do, people are spending less of their money or wasting less of their money on things that they couldn't really afford in the first place. So it's kind of a blessing in disguise that we don't have to be subjected to all of the options that we were wasting our money on previously. So it's been 2 weeks for me, technically 17 days, but who's counting? But I'll tell you what, deciding to get sober at this time of year, November, when we set the clocks back an hour, is a brilliant idea. All you want to do is go to sleep anyway. It gets dark at like 5:30. It's ridiculous. At 5:30 every day, I feel like it's like I look at the clock and I'm like, there's no way it's single digits still. And then I look at the clock and it's like 5:49. The downside is waking up at like 5 a.m. Unless you've truly settled into being sober, then welcome, early birds. I am not one of you, but I am now because I can't sleep throughout the night like I thought that I used to. I don't need to recuperate every morning. There have been nights when that I've been waking up. I've been going to bed at I'll go to bed at like 11 o'clock and then wake up at like 2:30 in the morning. So I always have trouble like shutting my brain down. Even if I take like melatonin, I'll take melatonin at night. And then sometimes I'll go to bed at like 11. And then I'll wake up at 2:30 in the morning. And don't get me wrong, I'm not staying up from 2 o'clock, 2:30 in the morning. I definitely go back to bed. But I'm usually waking up at like 6 o'clock. I'll say like 6 o'clock is a happy medium. Some days I'm waking up at 5:30 from being totally sober. Now, do I want to wake up that early? Nope. But I'll tell you what, my life has never been more organized. And now I feel like I have time to do things at my pace instead of feeling guilty or rushed that I'm not getting my life together, which gives me way less anxiety, which alcohol already does anyway, right? And depression. It's like one kind of leads to another. It's just a chain reaction of bullshit. And now that I'm not getting hammered every night and losing 4 hours and then waking up hungover and needing like 2 hours to recover, I'm netting like an extra 6 hours a day to do whatever I want. So what do we do with our extra free time? You know that to-do list that you said that you'll start tomorrow, or I'll get around to it eventually? Well, do that. All of that. One project at a time, one book at a time, one page at a time. Or you could do a little bit of all of them if you're ADHD like I am. My patience and attention span is garbage, but it's getting a little bit better. This morning, I spent my time calling insurance companies trying to figure out how I could save money on my car and homeowner's insurance while doing laundry. meal prepping, going through old mail, and then figuring out I had a bunch of unpaid bills, and making new notes on my to-do list for things that I wanted to accomplish throughout the day and tomorrow and in the future. Here's the thing. It is later. Today is tomorrow.
Just do it.
Today is a week after you said you were going to do something a week ago.
Just do it.
Or a year ago.
Just do it.
Or 5 years ago.
Just do it.
My personal objective is that when I lay my head down at night, is that I should be able to answer honestly that I did right for myself by myself. So now there are no excuses. And I give myself the flexibility by telling myself it's going to get done when it's going to get done. Have I been tempted?
Yeah.
Here's a genuine thought that I had yesterday. I didn't say that I wasn't going to take ecstasy.
It's not a drink. Stop it!
But I got through it. I just decided to not do it. Because I asked myself, how would I feel about myself when I laid my head down that night? Because I was going to have to face that person. I was that person in that moment. And I was going to have to lay in bed with that person later that night. And it's the same person. And I was going to have to wake up as that person next to that person in the morning and have to deal with how I felt about the decisions that I made yesterday. So that's the funny thing about when we talk about timelines and we think about maybe the future, how we're going to feel tomorrow. Like, let's just get this done tomorrow, or we'll get it done later. We think about later, and we think about tomorrow, we think about the future, but we don't think about projecting ourselves into the future and dealing with the decisions that we made in the past while it's the present. Ooh. So what did I end up doing instead? I went to my local bar.
Wait, what's wrong with you? You need to quit it. You need to stop it.
I didn't drink, but as some of you might know, I play pool. So I went to my local bar and I drank a stupid St. Pauli girl fake beer. I hate it. But I was going through the motions and I was playing pool, talking to my friends, and it just kind of has been losing its luster for me. It hasn't been doing the same thing for me, because I haven't been getting drunk. I haven't been getting that stimulation from the alcohol. So it's making me realize something that I already know, which is maybe I don't belong in this environment. If the environment that you find yourself repeatedly going to is one that you're only going to, or you can only tolerate by drinking alcohol or doing drugs, maybe you shouldn't go there anymore. Maybe you shouldn't do that anymore. Maybe you should find different hobbies. Maybe you should go through a little bit of loneliness and really figure out who you are and what you need. So it was actually kind of boring, and I didn't want to stay, so I didn't. I was true to myself. And I asked myself, what do I want to do? How else can I be better serving my time? So I decided I would go home and watch some tutorials on video editing. So that way I can make better products for you, and I can take that skill and that knowledge with me into the future, because I can't really take getting drunk into the future. The only way you can do that is by just continually getting drunk and just being that version of yourself and being around those people who are also getting drunk. So I still have cravings, right? Yeah, for sure. Does wanting to just grab a quick shot pop into my head? Yeah. Does happy hour still pop into my head every day? Yeah. But you know how you're hopefully not addicted to heroin, and it's not a problem at all. You don't think about it. It's not on your radar. You don't know what the feeling and the benefits are, whatever you think, whatever associations you have in your head of heroin, because hopefully they don't exist. So something that is massive and a major problem for somebody else isn't a problem for you, and you have no feeling and no association with it. Rewire your brain to start thinking that way about alcohol. Is it hard? No. Maybe, is this possibly faulty advice for you? Probably, maybe, who knows? I don't know. But there's gonna be somebody out there that says, oh yeah, that makes sense. I'm not addicted to heroin. I feel nothing about it. And I watch people in my community die from heroin every day. So maybe just try thinking. A small, simple exercise. Is it gonna cure you? Nope. But it will help. And the exercise is,
I don't drink anymore.
sounds pretty basic, right? Because you probably say, I don't drink anymore. And then ask yourself, do you want to drink? And the answer is probably like,
Yes, I want to drink right now. Oh, Dre, I can't wait till November to be over. I'm never going to watch this guy again. I'm unsubscribed.
I mean, you can do whatever you want, but if you're honest with yourself and you're honest with the people around you, if you could just, if you say,
I don't drink anymore.
well, they're going to be forced to believe you. Are they going to have a drink with you if you decide to drink again? Probably, yeah. But if you're around a bunch of people that don't respect the decisions that you've made, especially better ones for yourself, when you say, I don't drink anymore, and then they nudge you and encourage you to drink, those are shitty people. Those are shitty people. So when were my cravings the worst? Probably the same as yours. It was the first day that you decide, oh God, I quit drinking.
I've only been sober for like 12 hours. I could just go. I'm only 12. I mean, I haven't made any progress. I can just go. The happy hour's about to start. I'm just gonna go. Forget it.
And then that's kind of like what we did every day, right? That's what we do every day. And we just go get happy hours.
Whatever. I worked. I had a long day. I had a long productive day. I'm gonna get a drink. All my friends are there. All my bar friends will go. My bar friends gonna shot and give them some shots and buy me some shots. It's gonna be a good time. Stop it. Wait, what's wrong with you? You need to quit it. You need to stop it.
And then you're just back in the cycle again, right? And then when was the next worst day? Oh, day 2. That was the next worst day. A lot of cravings. So on day 1, I don't know. How many times do you think about drinking? 100? I don't know. Day 2, how many times do you think about drinking? 40? I don't know. Day 3, 40 again. But I just came to my own conclusions. I just decided day 3 is hump day. And from my experience, day 3 is usually, when I get to day 3, I feel like, my personal opinion is, once I get to day 3, I'm good. I'm done. It's over. I don't care anymore. It's behind me. I've got 3 whole days of momentum. And it's just getting to those 3 days, because also that's what I believe. I believe that it's those first 3 days that are the hardest. And then so if you believe something, then for you, it's true in your reality, isn't it? But it gets less and less every day. So now for me, like I said, it's day 17. Who's counting? And my cravings are way less than they were. I genuinely had a thought. I was really productive this morning. I've been really productive every morning. And then, I don't know about you, but the reward center in my brain, after being really productive and getting a bunch of things done, is,
let's go have a drink. Let's go have a drink.
and then, and then a drink ends up being another drink. And it's like, we want to have that first.
That first buzz. Oh.
And then you try to get it again. And it's like,
That was close. Let me try again.
and then you're like,
They're not really getting there.
and then you're just drunk. And then you're at Wendy's again. You're at Wendy's, then you're at Wendy's again. Can I have an order of spicy nuggets? 2 spicy nuggets. So here's my advice. Just don't give in to the defeatist attitude that just because you got a craving to drink means that you're some sort of failure and broken for life. So fuck it, let's just stop torturing ourselves and go have a drink, right? Don't do that. Will that thought pop up in your head? Yeah, it's gonna pop up in your head. We have tens of thousands of thoughts a day. And that's going to be one of them. Drinking is going to be one of them. Doing laundry will pop in your head, but you probably aren't going to do the laundry, are you? So just because you have a thought in your head to go grab a shot or grab a beer doesn't mean that you have to do it. Let me ask you a question. How do you feel when you offer somebody a drink and they say, no thanks? Do you judge them? Do you feel a little lonely? Do you maybe feel a little bit like a loser? I personally envy those people. What I really hear those people saying is, I'm unwilling to waste my time, my money, my energy, and whether or not I have better things to do, I'm just choosing better for myself. Even if it's something as simple yet important as being the designated driver. Anyone who drinks will tell you 100 that they can drive on a drink or 2 drinks or 5 drinks. One of the traps that I always fell in was concluding that I didn't have anything better to do, which was always a lie because there was always something better and more productive to do. I just didn't want to face it. And do I want to face it 100% of the time now that I'm not drinking? Nope. But I'm more likely now to get something accomplished. And all those somethings add up. Like last night, I was watching a 5-hour tutorial on Adobe Premiere Pro so that I can edit these videos faster. And I don't know about you, but some tutorials kind of put me to sleep. And since I'm legit diagnosed as ADHD, I sometimes have trouble following along. But I allowed myself the time to do a small chunk of the tutorial, which was 30 minutes. And then once I got to the 30-minute mark, I decided I still have plenty of time left in the day. What's the rush to get today over with? Which is always a problem with me. I just want to get it over with. And once I got to 30 minutes, I decided I'll just keep on going until I got to 1 hour, which took me 3 hours to do. You should see me read books. I'm the type of person that when I read, I will read 10 pages and then I will realize that I had been thinking about how to make a perfect meatloaf since the first page, and that I didn't absorb any of the last 9.5 pages. My brain's weird like that. But that's 3 hours that I took to invest in myself. And remembering that I told myself it'll get done when it gets done. And now I have more knowledge about something that I can actually use, which will increase my stock as a contributing member of society, rather than being taken away by the camaraderie of others who are also turning their backs on themselves. I don't know about you, but I can only play bar therapist so many times before I get therapist. Get it? Therapist? They say it takes 21 days to start a new habit, but that doesn't mean that it's concrete. And bad habits can be broken just as easily as good habits. It's all about attitude and perspective. Here's something to think about, being completely transparent here. I was spending on average like $20 a night at the bar, including tip. And today is day 17 for me. Who's counting? So that's $340 extra that I have right now. Isn't that kind of disgusting? What would you rather do with $340? And it wouldn't have just been $340 because after the drinking, I most likely would have needed food. So that's, let's say, an extra $10 a night. So now we're talking about $510 that's not been wasted. So today, I bought myself a brand new camera lens, and I still theoretically have hundreds of extra dollars left over. One of the fun trade-offs I like to do when I get sober is to treat myself to things that I need or want, especially if they're business write-offs. I have more money to take my mom out to dinner every week. I could buy organic more often. I can maybe get a better gym membership or better insurance. Like I said, it's all about perspective. I'm also paying down my credit card balances more rapidly, and my credit score has gone up. Yes, just in 2 weeks. My skin looks great. And somebody flirted with me the other day. So there. It's time for you to get sober today.
Operators are standing by.
But going back to the money saving example, I know that some of you are just buying like a 12 pack of light beer, and like what, a 12 pack of Miller Lite costs like $9 or something. So let's just say by that math that you're spending $10 a day on alcohol. And you're not going to the bar, but you're buying like a 12 pack or 6 pack of craft beer or whatever it is. So that math is $3,650 a year that you're wasting just on alcohol. And let's say that you did that for a decade, which is highly doable and also very probable. That's $36,500 that you've wasted on alcohol. And I'm not going to speak for you. I've wasted that on alcohol. I've certainly wasted that on alcohol. And then never mind all of the other poor decisions that you made because of alcohol, food, or whatever. I think it's safe to say we can round that number up to wasting at least $50,000 a year just because of alcohol, and the other decisions coupled together with it. So every 10 years, you would have enough money to flip an investment property, buy a vintage car, get 4 years of tuition at a state college or a community college for one of your kids, buy a used Porsche, get a new roof and windows and appliances for your current house. But instead, Budweiser has it. And they're not buying you a Porsche.
Could have had a Porsche instead. I got a DUI.
Or those gutter guards that you want to keep the leaves out of your gutters. Okay, so that's all for today. I just wanted to give you a quick update, let you know that I'm still here. Make sure that you comment below. I will definitely write you back. And again, if you fell off for a day, if you had a drink or whatever here or there, it's okay. Just pick it back up, brush yourself off, and get back to it. And wherever you are on your journey, I'm proud of you. It takes a lot of courage to stand up to yourself, doesn't it? And I have an episode coming up about the pros and cons that I've noticed since I've stopped drinking. So if you haven't subscribed yet, click that little icon right there and click subscribe. And don't forget that if you need a videographer or a photographer, hire me because I need money. Goodbye.